Know why, and our zookeepers didn't know why. They had to come out and check it out. They thought they knew that the giraffe was expecting, but they weren't anywhere thinking that it was about that fast. So anyway, Chandy was born very unexpectedly in front of a whole bunch of people right out here in that exhibit. So our giraffes are Maasai giraffes, and not Messiah. They are Maasai giraffes. They come from an area around Mount Kilimanjaro in Kenya and Tanzania, and they've got a lot of really cool things about them. Number one, their heart is about the size of a basketball, and it has to be to pump all that blood up that long neck, because they could grow up to about 19 feet tall. In fact, Mahali, the grandmother, is back in the barn today. She is 18 feet tall, and that's a lot of blood to pump all the way up that neck. While we're talking about the neck, does anyone here know how many vertebrae, cervical vertebrae, you have in your neck? 7. Perfect. Perfect. So here's a trick question for you. How many do the giraffes have in their neck?
70.
7.
Yeah, 7.
Just like us. But their cervical vertebrae are way bigger than ours. And so they can't bend their head and their neck over and eat off the grass or drink off the ground. They have to kneel or spread their legs really wide and crouch down to get to the ground with their neck. Just because their neck is long. The neck is long because it lets them get up into the treetops, and they use that long 18 to 20 inch tongue to wrap around a tree branch and strip off leaves, and they can eat 200 pounds of leaves a day. Like I said, their tongue is 18 to 20 inches long. Occasionally during the day, they'll reach around and clean their ears out with it. Yep. I'm checking. I'm trying to see if anyone's trying it. Occasionally, they also like to clean their nose with their tongue. So, yeah, if you ever go to one of those safari parks that you drive through and the giraffes can lean in and lick you in the face, maybe you don't want them to do that in the future. So, they are really cool animals, and that's one of my favorites here at the zoo is the giraffes. So, I do too. Did you all notice maybe that Chandy was a little lighter than the other giraffes? I don't know if you did or not. That's because their fur has melanin in it, and so their fur will tan, not their skin. If you shave a giraffe, their skin is black underneath. Giraffes are black underneath, as are the zebras and most of the antelope in our antelope exhibit. So their fur is different. So a giraffe is completely black if you shave their fur off. I wouldn't suggest you doing that. They don't like it. The giraffe's skin is black. Now, we do have an animal at the zoo. If you shaved it, its skin looks just like the pattern of its fur. Anyone know what that is? The tiger. Don't go shaving a tiger. It's a bad day for you if you try to shave a tiger. But yeah, their skin is the same pattern as their fur. That's kind of cool. All right, so on this side of the lake, a lot of stuff to talk about. We have a lot of history about Kansas City as a whole and for this particular part of Kansas City. This land was owned by a man by the name of Colonel Thomas Swope. Came from Kentucky and was a Kentucky colonel, not a military colonel. He bought the title for $200. You could have bought a family-sized house for $200 in his day. So it was expensive, but he came to Kansas City and he owned all this land, including this lake that he built. This is a man-made lake. And so he enjoyed playing out here with his rich friends. They would boat and fish and swim and all that. He had an old boathouse over here that he called the Kansas City Yacht Club. And when you think of yachts, what do you think of? A big ship with all kinds of cool stuff on it. Well, his were just little flat-bottom boats with a steam motor on it. And they would race around here. It was about as fast as a kid on a tricycle. 1 mile in circumference all the way around this donut-shaped lake. But he gave 1,500 acres roughly of land to Kansas City to build a park. And he did that in 1896. And sure enough, they built Swope Park. That was his that was what he asked them to do, was name it after him. So we have Swope Park thanks to Thomas Swope. And then in 1909, the Parks Department decided we needed a zoo, so they built the Tropics building that you can go into up on top side. That was the zoo in 1909, one building, and we've been here ever since. So 1990, roughly, the Parks Department gave us 142 acres down here, including this lake, and that's what we decided to build Africa with. If you look through these trees, you see the other half of the lake. The Parks Department was concerned that when we built Africa, we would displace tons of animals and wildlife out of the area. So we left about 9 acres over there open for a wildlife sanctuary, so they didn't have to displace. They all live over there. We all come over here. We never go over there. That has been untouched for 33 years. So it is strictly 9 acres, a wildlife sanctuary. Now, do the animals come over here and steal from us? Yes. We have great blue herons that live over there, and they come over here and steal our fish, and then they go back over there. But that's okay. We're really happy with this part of the place. 1990, we drained the lake because it was very polluted. We drained the lake and we dredged it 30 feet deeper, cleaned it all up, and Tortoise Island is what became of all of the mud and rock that we took out of the bottom of the lake. And we used to have Galapagos tortoises on there. We don't anymore because people tried to ride them. So we took them elsewhere, but we still call it Tortoise Island. This was built in 1947, and we opened it up in 1948 for boat rides, just like what we're doing. They used to have paddle boats and stuff out here as well. And then in 1990, the zoo took over this area, and in 95, we opened up Africa. So, anybody here get to see the aquarium today? Awesome, you like it?
Yeah.
Very good. I heard it's very sophisticated.
Yeah.
So, you guys like that?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. They told me I could have a whale of a good time just seahorsing around in there for the halibut. So that's what I want to go do sometime soon. All right, guys, just stay seated, would you, until we get completely pulled up into the dock. And Kimmel and I will tie it up and then let you know it's safe to go ashore. So I want to wish you a very pleasant afternoon with what you have left of your day. Do what you want. Have a good time. Enjoy yourselves.